Well, it's been a little while since we had some time with Matilda, so what's up YouTube? Welcome to Koala Gardens. Let's get a bit of time just enjoying the moves that Matilda's got as she moves through Area 11 and does her thing. Koala Gardens is a wildlife sanctuary on private land. Subscribing helps me bring koalas to you, and liking this video helps me bring them to the whole world. I'm lucky enough to live in the koala's backyard with a wild and free colony on the far north coast of New South Wales in Australia. Check out my Patreon options and come over and chat on my public Discord server. You'll find links for these and lots more in the description below. I'm Katrina, and I'm passionate about saving koalas. This video is actually taken over a few different days, and we're starting off on a beautiful breezy afternoon, and Matilda is in a swamp mahogany. Swamp mahogany is one of the 3 primary food trees for koalas. I believe that I came along just after she had probably finished having a meal. It's way more exciting when you find a koala just about to start having a meal, but it was still lovely to spend a few minutes with her and just observing her. I think that's what I enjoy the most, is being able to just be still and observe koalas doing the things that they do naturally in their own environment. And she is one beautiful queen of a koala. Look at the size of that leaf. Looks like, as I said, she's probably had a meal and she's just deciding if she can fit 1 or 2 more leaves in, and it seems like she probably can't. Look at that hand reaching out, and you can really notice the double thumb on her hand there. That was just a bit of a stretch, it would seem. And let's just take a bit of notice of this tree she's in and some of the features of this tree, because we're soon going to see her on another day in another type of tree. As I said, this is the swamp mahogany. It is a eucalyptus tree. And one of the features of it are the really large, dark green, very glossy leaves, and that dark bark on the trunk and the branches of the tree that is quite a rough bark. Another bit of a stretch. That face is one we've all grown to love so much, isn't it? One more grooming session. Scratching and grooming, a bit difficult to tell them apart on a koala, and very often a scratch starts and turns into a grooming session. Matilda definitely looks like she's getting ready to snooze on into koala la la land. So let's move on to another day, and the first thing that you might notice after you take in the beautiful Matilda is how different the bark is on this tree. This tree is still a eucalyptus tree, but this one is a young forest red gum. The forest red gums have a very smooth bark, and they tend to have much longer, thin leaves, and even though all leaves are a little bit glossy, they're not glossy in the way the swamp mahogany leaves are. Now, when you're looking at her here, just look at that hand hanging right down low. So the left hand is holding up above her shoulder to the tree, and the right hand is just flopped right down as low as she could get. I came around to the other side of the tree to get a bit of a look at her, and she's just doing some occasional little ballet toe stretches. Would you take a moment to help my channel and help really make this video visible to lots of people by smashing that like button? Alright, now we're going to move on to the main feature of this video, which is Matilda on yet another day. You might notice that she's in a tree that has a smooth bark, but I don't know if you can notice that it is a different shade or different colour to that bark, and this one is actually a young flooded gum. Matilda loves the flooded gums, and there's quite a lot of them here in Area 11 on the property, and I was lucky enough this time to come along and catch her not too far into her meal. And what I really love about Matilda, of all the koalas, is some of the positions she gets in to eat. So just look at the way she's propped against this tree branch, holding on with her feet, holding on with one hand, just stabilized behind by a little thin branch, and having a queenly meal indeed. You can see there's a little bit of a breeze that's about. However, not a lot of it is getting Matilda because she is reasonably high from the ground, but you can see that there are some other trees just to the back of her that have got their tops blowing about at times, and so the breeze is mostly up higher and is catching the tops of those trees, but only giving her a gentle little sway every now and then. And at any rate, koalas actually don't mind sitting in the treetops being blown about quite a lot while they're eating. Sometimes I've often thought it seems to me like they appreciate having leaf blown towards them when they're eating, because it feels like they can actually grab a hold of more leaf without having to reach out so precariously. And Matilda is making sure that she gets just about every little leaf that's within her reach that she can. This is quite a spindly young tree that she's in. It's actually as old as the taller trees we can see behind her, and this tree does have more height to it. Matilda quite likes these young trees, and she keeps them quite well manicured. Even these trees that don't have leaves quite the size of that swamp mahogany at the beginning have some pretty impressively big leaves on them, and Matilda, in typical koala style, just grinds away with those molar teeth until she gets the entire leaf down. No knife and fork here to cut that leaf into manageable sized pieces. She just concentrates and grinds, and down it goes. You can see why we say that koalas have hands, because they truly are able to use them as hands. They are not simply paws. In fact, even though they walk on them when they're down on the ground, they spend most of the time in the trees where they do truly use those front limbs as arms and hands. And if you ever thought that koalas are just round, tubby things that sleep all day, just look at how much reach she's got and how well she can twist that body, reach behind her and eat with an arm up in the air. I mean, truly, I would be getting a back and a neck ache within the first 3 or 4 mouthfuls. But doesn't faze Matilda at all. She's quite wedged in there, she feels quite secure, so she just does whatever it takes. You can see there's quite a variety of sizes of leaves. So that really big leaf, you can even see it's darker, a bit scraggly on the edges. It's a much older leaf, and some of the very young leaves are quite tiny. Matilda is as happy to eat the older leaves as she is to eat the yummy little tender new leaves. Not really going to be a lot of leaf left by the time she's finished, but of course this will actually stimulate the tree to create more new growth. And if you think about it, this is one of the things that koalas are perfectly adapted to provide as a service to the ecosystem that they live in, because in an old growth forest the koalas would keep the amount of flammable leaf in the forest canopy at a good level. Okay, not much left to eat there. Time to stop and have one of those good reach around to the other side with the leg scratches and decide what is the spot on the tree I want to eat from next. And she's decided to head on further up. You can see how spindly this tree is. So this tree is more than 10 years old, but because it's inside a whole area of trees that were planted, it has never had as much light as the others that have grown bigger than it. And every time a koala like Matilda eats most of the leaf back, of course it halts it from growing big and tall and thick. But that's exactly how a forest is designed to work. A forest is designed to have trees of all different heights and sizes and trunk thicknesses, and basically 1 or 2 trees will really get it going and will go up taller and create a canopy. And of course they then get to really take in most of the light by being the canopy up the top. But the thinner, spindly trees inside are just as important in the entire sphere of the ecosystem. Just look at her making her decisions. I bet things look quite different from that spot where she's clinging to a tree looking up than it does from where I am sitting on a quad bike with a camera in front of me. And it seems like her decision has been made. Have another bit of a scratch and head on up to get another round of yummy, yummy eucalyptus leaves. Or maybe just head on up and find a place to get comfy and think about settling on down. You never can really tell quite what's on a koala's mind until you see their actions rather than what you think they're going to do. Oh yeah. Matilda knows how to get comfy in a way that could only be comfortable to a koala and no other animal at all, I'm quite certain. You can see that because she's up higher in this little tree now, she's blowing about a lot more. And you can also see that it doesn't bother her in the least. She is going to get ready for a good koala sleep after a good koala meal. And guess what? You have made it through to the end of yet another video. I hope you've really enjoyed having a bit of time with Matilda because she is truly a joy to watch. The way she uses those positions to enjoy eucalyptus leaves in the way only a koala can. Now would you stop and write in the comments below, Matilda Munchies. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for lots more great koala stuff. Thanks for visiting Koala Gardens. Did you hit the like button? Now before you go, there's lots more great video to see, and make sure you've subscribed and hit that notification bell.